Hey everybody, and welcome to In the Comics Dead Edition. Dave Cottingham here with Chad Perkins.
Hello.
We are in what is going to hopefully be our new set for The Walking Dead discussions that we're going to have. If you have kind of followed us a little bit, I know we kind of been on hiatus a little bit, as the show has been on hiatus a little bit. Just a quick little explanation. We did every episode of Fear the Walking Dead. We got a little behind on The Walking Dead, so we just kind of put it on pause a little bit. And this episode is going to be us discussing the first half of season 6 as we get ready for the mid-season premiere
On Valentine's Day.
on Valentine's Day of Walking Dead season 6. So excited for that, like no other. I mean, it's by far has been one of my favorite series of all time. The show is great. It's getting great ratings, of course. So what we want to do is just, we're not going to break down every episode. Just kind of want to go through some highlights from the first half of season 6. Just get, a little discussion and kind of maybe what we expect in the next part of season 6. So first up, when we first get back, from season 5, the end of season 5 was we saw Rick being told by Deanna to murder Pete, right?
Yeah.
And just as he does that, we are reintroduced back to Morgan into the series, right? We've seen him kind of lurking. Yeah, there he is.
There he is.
There he is. I made it a point. I got Morgan. I got Michonne.
Yeah, you don't have to stay down there.
Yeah, he was bad about that. He's got the walking stick, but he's hard to...
Well, his head is enormous. So all of these heads
are enormous.
Except you, Daryl and Rick.
This is a great figure, man.
Yeah.
A great figure. So when we come back in season 6, they're obviously... It's obviously right after they're getting rid of Pete's body by not keeping him there because he was, I guess, bad in the sense they are taking him away and kind of burying him outside of the walls. Because of that, they stumble upon what is by far the biggest herd of zombies they have seen. They've just been collecting in this quarry. Thank you. He corrected me off camera before. So
call it a quandary.
Quandary, yeah. The quarry of zombies that are just walkers that are just collecting in this thing. They're falling. They keep hearing each other and it's kind of echoing. So they're just falling in this thing. Well, but they're noticing that the trailer that someone had conveniently parked to stop them in the beginning, I guess, is starting to slide off the cliff. So it's just any minute that they're going to make their way straight towards Alexandria. So the plan is devised that they would, force them a certain way.
Piper them.
Yeah, correct. So not divulging in too much in depth, but how did you feel just coming back after the long summer and getting Walking Dead back on television?
So that was the hour and a half long episode?
Correct. And it was kind of the Memento-ish black and white.
Black and white when it was the past.
Correct. Leading up to it.
Yeah.
I
I didn't think that part was exactly necessary, that treatment, but I didn't have a problem with it. And I thought for an hour and a half long episode, it was pretty even with its action and its backstory and everything. I thought it was a pretty good kickoff.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I actually expected a little bit more. We got and I failed to remember his name, but we got Ethan Embry's character. We got the death of him, which wasn't as gripping because, for one, you really didn't care about his character because he was kind of a coward. But it wasn't a main character death that kind of like jaw-dropping season opener, kind of thing. So I wasn't that, and because I've seen Memento and I really enjoyed Memento, I think it was a very creative movie that was done by Christopher Nolan. I had seen it and done, so it was kind of a ripoff in a sense. So that didn't really do it for me. And plus, it didn't really matter. Like, in Memento, it mattered. You were living into a guy's short memory.
Yeah.
But this, it didn't really matter. It didn't serve the purpose of the storytelling.
True.
I thought the next episode, which I just want to kind of get her character, Eden, is about Eden.
Enid. Who names a kid
Enid, yeah. I would have definitely changed my name in the zombie apocalypse when you had a chance because no one knew you.
McLovin.
Is that your real name?
It just says McLovin. There's no last name.
What's your last name? Just McLovin.
Just McLovin.
That's badass. So Enid. The whole time, it's the JSS episode. And what did you think about her backstory?
I liked it. It gave a little bit of insight as to why she's so distant and kind of off-putting to people. Made sense. She watched her parents get eaten and was on her own, just trying to survive any way that she could. So I liked it. A lot of times when it's an episode like that where it's mainly just one character's backstory and it's not pursuing the current storyline forward, I kind of get turned off. But this one, I guess just because I was kind of wondering why she's kind of so much of a jerk. To get this backstory and to kind of find out, I liked it. But another thing is why I usually don't like episodes like that is because, you want to know what happened at the end of the last episode, and this contributes zero to that. But, what are you going to do?
No, I thought it was a very good episode. I thought she, this is like her first gig. Was casted, I think, in Georgia, to play the part, and I think she nailed it. I think she was fantastic in the episode. That part where she kills that turtle.
Yeah.
And eats that turtle. It's like, wow. I mean, desperate times, So yeah, very you get more, you understand more about her character, which is really good, I think. So on the flip side of that, this season we also got Morgan's backstory.
Loved that episode.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I did too.
And again, it's like not pushing the current storyline forward. A week off from the current storyline, which kind of can be annoying, like I said, but it was money. It was so good. It kind of the samurai master type of story with the student, the pupil, and just how he changed. Here we go. How he changed from just kill me or I'll kill you. Just someone's gonna die.
Crazy. It's just crazy, man. Yeah.
Being no one dies, even if it's a wolf. From the wolves, not an actual wolf, but also not an actual wolf. Basically, no one dies. All life is precious, and such a 180 in his character that I wish we had these for every character. So where's the Enid? So I could. Whoa. See, it's like
I don't know if Enid has a pop figure.
Yeah, probably not. But she comes back. Maybe she will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since it was such a changing character, I thought it was so necessary to get that backstory, and it was also really tragic.
It was
very tragic.
Yeah, the one-off character Eastman is the one that kind of turns him. He was fantastic in the episode.
Really good character actor, that guy.
So I enjoyed that very much. So I think I remember last season hearing how he was going to be this, or actually seeing last season when he had the encounter with the wolves and he took them down easily. You're like, where the heck did he learn that?
Yeah.
It's like, and you kind of heard from Talking Dead that they were going to delve into that at some point, and then we got that in the season. So,
most have.
And speaking of wolves, the wolves, interesting storyline going on with the wolves because they are not in the comic book. So this is an enjoyment on my part that I'm completely unaware of what's happening with the wolves. There's thoughts that maybe they're the saviors, but we kind of find out later that they're not. So the wolves are just a random pack of killers.
Pack of wolves, man.
Pack of wolves, I guess. So what'd you think of the scenes where they're invading Alexandria, basically?
That episode, I don't know what episode that was, but
I think it was like 4 or 5.
Yeah, it first, not even 5 minutes, like first 2 minutes. It's like, hi, and then
Yeah.
just,
Well, she got an axe to the back. Or
yeah.
something like that.
Oh, it just started off with a bang, and
because they don't have guns.
they don't have guns, which okay.
Yeah.
It didn't let up. That whole episode was just edge of the seat type of
Yes.
stuff, and I loved how Carol just instantly went into, okay, I'm going to disguise myself, put a
Yeah.
blood W on my forehead, and wow,
Just smokes them.
yes,
Smoke them.
just like she was like, oh, this is happening. Okay, here we go. It's like there was
Yeah.
no hesitation. It was.
But so based on both of that, are you frustrated at all about Morgan's policy though now?
I don't think it makes sense per se in some situations, such as the situation of the wolves. But just like Glenn, he hasn't killed anybody.
That's right.
He doesn't make a big deal about it like Morgan does. But he has also never killed anybody, and I kind of hope that he doesn't, because that's why we kind of love Glenn.
But I also think he hasn't just been really in that situation yet. Because I think he would. I think he would.
He's been there where he could have, but it wasn't a life and death.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, the thing between Carol and this guy Morgan, yeah, is going to come to a head. Something's going to happen there. But
I
a
agree.
little bit more on Carol's side. I see where she's coming from. A little bit more.
So, great transition. Because the big controversy that this season brought about was the
Glenn.
possible death of Glenn.
Yeah.
We got that, I think, in episode 3 was when he
Thank you.
supposedly got eaten or was getting eaten. So to try to take it back to think,
Yeah.
did you think Glenn died?
No, I didn't. I never thought.
Really?
Nope. I never thought, because I don't know. There was many reasons. One was the placement where the intestines were coming out. I thought it was way too high up on it.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know how he made it through it. I thought, my theory was, which didn't turn out to be true, but that the guy who was on top of him just ended up covering Glenn so much in the blood and guts that the walkers just thought he was dead. One
Yeah.
of them, like how they walk around with their meat curtains
Yes.
on.
But that would have been
blend in.
more fresher blood, though, not Walker blood. Or
Correct. Yeah, what was to stop him just to keep going down, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's what I thought, but that didn't turn out to be right. Anyway.
I struggled because I didn't think he died, but I struggled with, there's no way he can get out of that. Because I don't know who they had on Talking Dead right after, and that kind of gave it away a little bit because he wasn't in the memoriam.
He wasn't in the memoriam.
Which obviously intended you to think one way or the other, and maybe they'll do it later. But I can't remember who was on. It might have been, it might have been CM Punk. I'm not 100% sure.
I think it was that
But somebody was on there.
that girl who takes extensive notes. I can't remember her name.
Well, no, it was a guy that I'm thinking of that was on. He was at the end of the couch, and he kept saying, "There's no way that Glenn survives that. If he does, he even said if he does, I think it's a mistake because there's just no way out of that. There's that above shot, which I mean they're all over him. Yes, there's that dumpster right there, but it's like I don't know, and that was the only theory, right? Was that he crawls under the dumpster and maybe survives somehow that way. But in the end, we do find out. I think it's the second to last episode. We find out his fate, which is that he does slide under while they're eating poor Nicholas. Slides under. Now there's some going after him, and he has to kind of kill him, but he's there for I don't even know, like a couple days.
Yeah, until Enid comes along.
Yes, and then doesn't he like climb on the roof real quick, or climb up that ladder, which he could have done.
Yeah,
in the first place?
why didn't you do that in the first place? Man?
Yeah.
Exactly. I remember thinking that when you saw the shot of them going off
Yes.
the dumpster, like, oh, there's a ladder right there.
There is. Like when you first ran down, it's like, what? There's a fire escape. Just look. But yeah, so
But he was in shock.
so you weren't. So you obviously were not surprised that
I was
much. Okay. What do you think of the method though that they did? Do you think it was a good strategy of doing that for a character to hold that in for like 6 episodes, 5-6 episodes before we found out his fate?
I do in this situation because of the fandemonium of The Walking Dead and The Talking Dead. I mean, I remember watching Talking Dead right afterwards, and people were torn up about it.
Yes.
They were like, they needed
Chris
some,
Hardwick was torn up.
they
about
need
it.
some counseling, like some honest to God
Yeah.
counseling about it.
Yeah.
And that's what that show is basically, is counseling, you know. And yeah, Hardwick's always like, we're gonna get through this together, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So for The Walking Dead, I think it was a good choice. It got a lot of people talking, a lot of water cooler talk, a lot of theories and discussions, and yes he is, no he isn't, and all that. So I think it was a good decision.
Okay. So in the end, leading up to the mid-season finale, we get the Alexandria people able to fight off the horde of the wolves, but then the walls do come crashing down, and the horde of zombies that were not all led away from, and we kind of skipped over the whole. There were some good storylines with Daryl and Abraham and Sasha by themselves, kind of Sasha getting over her kind of craziness or whatever. But anyway, in the end, the walkers are taking over Alexandria, moving into Alexandria, killing a bunch of people, and the residents are forced to get hunkered in houses as well as spread out, and Rick is kind of stuck in he ends up making his way back, I think. So he ends up coming back. Deanna gets bitten. She's dying, dead, going to be dead. The last we see of them is kind of back to the putting the dead on themselves as they walk. Yeah. But that's not the most shocking point. The shocking came up kind of an end credit sequence of Daryl. Did you see this?
Oh, right.
Yeah, Daryl, Sasha
Being stopped on the road.
getting stopped on the road by who we now know are the Saviors.
Negan.
And they brought up the word Negan. So for those of you who don't know, I'm not going to go into it because you will find out who Negan is. And he is a comic character from the books. And let's just say he is on that line of the governor. As far as type of character, and it's if it's anything like the books, we're in for a long haul with Negan. It's going to be good. So, but so how do you think it ended? Just thoughts on how it ended in the whole Negan introduction.
Yeah, pretty perfectly. Your comic book fans got their Easter egg, and got that moment of ooh, and your non-comic book fans are like, well, who's this guy? And he's got 2 guns, and how are they gonna get out of
Now,
this?
you only know about Negan because of what I've said, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I know some stuff. So we'll see if it follows the comic book line or not. If it does, woof.
Wolf. I know. All right, so that's kind of our recap of season 6. Season 6 premiere comes back. Mid-season premiere comes back, like you said, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Go check it out and immediately come back to our channel, the 21 Network, to listen to Dead Edition here on In the Comics, where we talk about every episode from season 6. We'll do the rest of them. There's 8 more, I think, in this season. And they've already been renewed for season 7.
Yeah.
We got season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead, which got a premiere release in April. So very shortly after this, I think it's probably right after this, we're getting Fear the Walking Dead again, season 2. So we'll keep this churn going and keep reviewing them and letting you know how it works out too with the books. Obviously, Fear the Walking Dead being an original, I have nothing to compare that to, but very interesting how that's going to go now that they're
On the
heading in
sea.
sea. Yeah, it's going to be cool.
The Love Boat.
So thanks, Chad, for hanging out.
No problem.
He'll be on the show again, I'm pretty sure. Russ will probably step in as well at some point, but I'm Dave Cottingham, and check us out on the 21 Network YouTube channel. This is In the Comics Dead Edition. Thanks for watching, everybody.